Forget the cameras there, basically, right?
Just like ice, iced coffee in the morning wakes me up the way I want it. Such a rush, I'm tripping and I'm falling. Got my sunshine pouring like an ice, iced coffee in the
Start with the interview. I feel like I'm good.
iced coffee in the morning.
So, for anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Nick. I started a channel recently called Nice Guy Problems, which is where we are right now. So welcome. This is my friend Abel. He's going to be one of the first ones that we're doing as an interview, and we're also going to be kind of doing an episode 2 for season 0 of the, I guess, meat and bones of the actual podcast of the channel and everything. So first off, we're going to kind of start with an interview today, and then depending on when we record and get it all up and everything. But you want to start off by introducing yourself, a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. My name's Abel. I go by Neptic online. I am a video gamer, streamer, computer nerd. Yeah, I can do it all.
That's how we met, right?
Yeah.
We met through gaming and streaming and
Oh yeah,
all that stuff. So you definitely kind of meet people in the circles, and I feel like we had some people like Ominous, and we had like Pizza Mommy, and there were certain people, Purple, and them that kind of we all just ended up connecting through. I almost feel like it was through my Discord.
Yeah.
It was without me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, we were doing a bunch of those community nights.
We were.
I think that really helped out a lot.
For sure. It's always nice to have a community, which is kind of the reason why I am doing this kind of content, is because I feel like, especially from our perspective as men, we do feel alone a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot that we can share, and we have that open communication, and there's a lot of good resources out there for men, different things.
I could have swear I was on Do Not Disturb.
Uh-oh. Shut it off! It's a movie theater.
It's my grandpa.
It's your grandpa. As long as the house ain't on fire, we're fine.
I hope not.
You need to call him back?
Let's find out if it's on fire. Hello?
All right. But yeah, that's why I'm doing content like this, is because there's a lot of resources and stuff out there now as far as podcasts, and like one of the questions that we're going to get into next year is going to be what's your favorite book, because I want to start reading more, and I think there's a lot of good resources, and if we can provide not just our opinions or my opinion of topics or things, that actual good beneficial resources, which I think is totally different. There's being hey, do better, actually provide something that's of value. And so it always helps to have that community. But now for the question, what is your favorite book, Neptic?
My favorite book, I think growing up, was The Outsiders.
Outsiders, okay.
Yeah,
I saw the movie.
Loved the movie. The book was great. Reading into the book and finding out that there was a movie with all these great actors.
Right?
It was just a bundle of all the good people at the time.
Oh, for sure.
And
well, they weren't even famous yet.
Not yet. No, they were all still early 20s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they did such a good job in that movie that I thought it was just really powerful for what it was.
Right. No, for sure. It's definitely it's a cool movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check out The Outsiders. It's
for sure.
Is the book very different, or is it?
It's very similar. I think coming from my imagination, because the book is your imagination when you percept it that way, and I just thought that it was pretty spot on with the movie itself.
Okay.
And that's what I liked a lot about it.
Yeah, they didn't change a bunch, or
no, it was line for line just about.
Okay, well, right on. Well, and then just so I kind of have some things we're gonna go through as far as questions that are kind of easing into kind of talking about yourself, so that people can get to know you and your angles on things, but then also to get in where it's not just question 2. So what's the most serious relationship you ever been in? We're not just jumping into so has anyone ever cheated on you?
Right.
We're not going super deep, super fast. So as far as the next question that I have here is what kind of music do you like? Are you into everything? I know you're from the South, so you got the E's and the haws.
I do like country music a lot.
Okay.
Metal for sure. I do listen to a lot of just lower what's it called, lo-fi type rap.
Oh yeah, the calm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depressive music for sure.
You said hashtag sad boy.
Sad boy for life.
We feel it here.
That's me there. But that's every day. Those are my everyday things.
Right.
switch it up. So
Okay. Well, right on. I can definitely like relate with that. I like a lot of like hip hop and rap songs. That's kind of like my, I guess, go-to has always been that, but like not all the standard like vocal stuff. So like,
okay,
like I probably sound like a hipster saying that.
underground.
Like,
SoundCloud
hey
stuff.
man, I listen to that stuff, but only the cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you probably never heard of the artists that I listen to. My favorite artists are on SoundCloud. No, I'm just
Right,
kidding.
yeah.
I mean,
You got like 20 followers.
right? Hey, yo. Like everybody's gonna start somewhere, man.
That's true.
Do you have any hobbies or anything like that you like? You get like I know personally, like I know you, so like I know you like technology and stuff.
A main hobby for me right now is working on cars.
Oh yeah.
I tear them apart and then slap them back together. They
Mhm.
work. So
Well,
I just something
that's
about
good.
working on cars.
They work, so that's good.
I actually have a motor to pull when I get back home next week. So
Okay,
that's gonna
right
be
on.
fun.
Yeah, like what kind of car?
2014 Kia.
Okay.
Don't buy Kias.
The Kia boys, stay
Right,
out
yeah.
there.
That too, and the motors will lock up on you at any given moment. So
Yeah, this is like Sorrento,
it's a Sportage.
Sportage.
Yeah.
Yeah, those will do that. I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I got to rip it apart and figure out what's wrong with it, and if I can get it back alive.
Right. I mean, you probably will.
Just paid off that car too.
4-cylinder.
hmm
It should be pretty simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've only done a couple. Be a pain in the butt. What is your favorite pickup line?
Favorite pickup line?
Yeah. I love this
Oh,
one. I love
man.
this one.
I haven't used pickup lines in I don't know how long.
Lies. Full of shit.
Bullshit. I think I just got my my ex-girlfriend with the pickup line. What was it? I was going through okay, so there's this video on Instagram, right, where they do like an instrumental with like it's like hardcore, metal,
Okay.
and then they're just doing like screaming pickup lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. You can send me that link. What? They're just screaming pickup
He said,
line? Yeah, what's the best one?
Are you a well? Because we could hunt back at my place.
Dang, yo. What? Ladies, would that work on you?
Probably
I feel like it's a big fuck no. I feel like it's a big fat no.
It's a big stretch.
I mean, depends on the lady, I guess, but like
I
don't
think just being a smooth talker alone is just fine,
I mean,
Then you could maybe slip one of those in there.
I hear ladies funny guys, so I guess it's all on the delivery, right? Like,
That too. If you can make them laugh,
know.
then they're having a great time.
right,
so.
right. I mean, that's what I hear. I don't have any experience. I don't know these things.
We don't ever talk to women.
Right. You don't talk to
Or
me.
leave the house.
Yeah. I mean, I don't leave the house. Go touch some grass, Nick.
Right.
What is your current relationship status? Complicated.
I'll just leave it at that because if I say any more or any less, I'm probably dead.
That's fair. I know the background, so I get it. It's all about what you want to share. I'm not trying to dig too deep. You feel like talking about your last relationship?
Sure.
As far as like just like service level stuff, like how long was that relationship?
Altogether, about 10 years.
10 years. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a long time.
10 years.
Okay. Was it? Do you think it was a good relationship?
50-50.
50-50?
Yeah, I don't think it was great, but I don't think it was bad either.
Okay.
Just, you can kind of get used to each other.
Mhm.
And, your personalities start melding together, and then you figure out what settling down is based on being together that long and how people have their households and how they live and how they do things. And that's just because two people come together, and that's kind of,
like the
stirs the pot.
meshing of two people kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and then
fall
you
into
figure out
patterns.
what it's like to be a family after that.
But yeah, and so sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. So
Mhm.
we definitely know how complicated relationships can be. Actually, did you know there's a channel called It's Complicated?
Yes.
Like, I love that.
Yes.
I love that shit. So like
Good stuff.
It was one of the names that I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I looked it up. I was like, fuck. I was like, damn it, it's already taken. So no, I definitely understand that. Like the relationships and all that, they can be complicated.
Mhm.
It's tricky when you have any little ones involved as far as children, stuff like that.
Which I
you
do.
know.
Yeah.
Right. Don't know how much you were trying to share, so I'm just generalizing. But I think that was all I was touching on that. Well, I guess what was the best part of your last relationship? Would you say?
Seeing my kids grow up with a mom and dad together.
Yeah,
Because there's not enough of that.
sure. That's good.
I think a lot of people generalize that having a stepfather or stepmother is normal these days, which I think it's absolute crap. But I do think it's better for the kids to have mom and dad together under
Yeah.
one household instead of meeting other people that come in and out of relationships.
And statistically, it shows that, like in the stats, that the kids that grow up in single parent households, they have a higher chance of being. You want to go to the full send of it. It's drug addiction. You have issues with corn work. You have issues with them being more likely to be in prison.
Yeah,
like commit crimes. All these things that statistically it goes up when you have a single parent household, and with how traditions and things have basically gone out the window. You go back 50 years and you were like, oh, you're Irish stock, or oh, you're German stock, and that wasn't like demeaning. That was like, oh, we know something about what ethics you have or what morals you may carry based on where you're from.
right.
And now we're such a melting pot, and people have crossbred is the right word, but like people have mixed so much, which is good for diversity and such, but we've lost, people just, like I did a video just the other day talking about someone that was dating somebody for a year, and they weren't quite sure if they wanted to have like their own traditions, but then he had traditions too.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like, how do you mesh or compromise, but she didn't want to.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, like you do that so much over time, so many generations, and then now you have like no family traditions anymore. It's a big mix of like all this stuff, which it's not necessarily bad, but it's definitely like it's just different.
Yeah,
like they've ruined the family unit, like in the U.S. It's just gone.
Oh yeah, in the sense of how it used to be back in like the 50s and 60s. I thought that was like a perfect, everybody had the perfect household. Just come home from work, food's ready, kids are happy.
Well, right.
I've
literally seen videos of women saying, "Why did you fight for freedom?" Like literally, like you're telling me I could have stayed home, just taking care of the kids, cooked, cleaned, and you got to go to work. Why did I have to go to work? Why do I have to have a job? It's like, I don't know if some of it's satire, I mean, like maybe some of it's not, but I think it's just funny. I've seen an increase of that myself on my feed. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, why is...
Yeah, and just, the times are so different that it changed everything. Like you said, traditions are lost, and heritages just aren't the same anymore as they used to be. That everybody kind of just does their own thing now,
Yeah, and it's a weird world we live in, because I can speak from a man's perspective because I'm a man. I can't, like I try to make a point on the podcast of not speaking for women, but trying to speak, if I ever do speak in the essence of women, it's because of like, I saw this, or this is the take I'm saying. So for anyone watching, if you have other stats or other opinions or other views or other perspectives, those are things that, like, it's the whole reason I'm doing this. It's the whole reason we're having a conversation with somebody else. It's not just me talking to a camera. It's the whole purpose. So I love stoking conversation. That's kind of what this all is, and that's what the goal and hope is for me in all of this. So, but when I speak from a man's perspective, like, it just seems like we get the brunt end of the stick, the brunt end of the... Right. We get hit with the fucking ugly stick, and we that. That one. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. We get the bad end of the deal, and we basically, a lot of men are afraid. A lot of men I've seen will not, like, they don't want to raise someone else's kids. But when you talked about somebody who is, like in our age range, it's very hard to find somebody who does not have kids.
Exactly.
And so now you're a step parent. Oh, like, you're not going to be able to meet the kids for so long because of blah, blah, which is good. But also, there's all these other things that come with it. And like, if you were, let's say you're 35 right now, and you're like, I want to find someone who's single, well, obviously, I hope so. Or, someone who's single, no kids, just those two things, and that I'm attracted to. You just like slim down the whole fucking like pool.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult, and it's tough. And then us as men, we have this fear of like, okay, at some point a woman's just gonna leave us. You and I have both experienced similar things in our life that would be a direct correlation to that literally, like, my last ex, story, they don't though. So my last ex literally acted like they were head over heels in love with me. And then one day it was just like a 180 and acted like it didn't matter. And so it's like, it's scary to me, because how do I not carry that over into my next relationship?
Right. Yeah.
And say, oh, well, you say you love me, but like the last person did too, and the last 12 said, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're like at what point it's so hard because now you feel like you gotta like vet people, you know, and it's like yeah, I mean you should, and you need to make sure that person is, but it's just the like where it feels like a vetting, where you're like all right, so how serious are you about life? All right, like how many kids you got? You know, and, like, and with each of these questions, there's also the extra layer of mistrust. Are they telling the truth?
Yeah.
The last one said this. Oh, this is how, you know, 3 of the other like relationships started off.
Yeah.
She's really obsessed. Well, how far, you know, do I hold her at for distance, and you know, how high are my walls, and when do I let them? There's so, I know I could probably just keep going
it's
all
like
day,
you don't want to bring toxicity to like the very beginning of a relationship, which happened to me in this previous one that I was dating. This girl, we ended up sharing our locations together. Hey, what are you doing? Where you at? Oh, you were sleeping again? Sure. You know, or you're out drinking at the bar without me. You know, don't talk to nobody while I'm not there, and this and that.
Right. That's just a bunch. To me, that
so
sounds
fast.
like insecurity or mistrust.
Because she had a lot of issues with her past relationships that it got carried over onto me. And I'm just like, I'm none of those guys.
Well, and that's the thing, right? When you talk about nice guys finish last, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this real quick. So nice guys finish last, right? So you have how it works out typically is a nice guy does finish last. And what they're going to argue is that a nice guy, like it goes hand in hand with the nice guys finish last, and a man will marry the woman who's in front of him at the time that he's ready. Have you heard this?
Yes.
So both of those bullshit. Fuck you if you believe that. I'm sorry, but fuck you. Like, there's so much flaw in that. Like, yes, maybe it's true, and I'll admit that that's true. But
yeah, someday.
But the problem with that is that the comparison is the nerdy girl in high school that's ugly, and then she has the glow up, and then she's hot.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants her. Why is that never talked about for the guy?
I don't know.
Why is it never a nerdy guy that has the glow up?
I didn't get my glow up until after high school.
I feel like I'm more attractive post high school than in high school.
Yeah,
like
I look like a little.
I think most of us do probably.
School kid in high school.
But nice guys, what happens is you have guys that are really good guys, and then they do what they're supposed to. They wear their heart on their sleeve. They treat women nicely. They're not. I'm gonna use the word rewarded.
Okay.
And you may think sex, but I'm not talking about that. It's rewarded, and nice behavior is not rewarded. It doesn't get loyalty and love, and because what happens is, especially with how society and the media have fed into this bad boy, and like girls like to live a little dangerous. Like you see that as a trend, like girl getting on the back of a motorcycle, the guy that's maybe a couple years too older than she should be hanging out with in high school, type of shit, and you're like, oh, I love it. It's the rush, and so like you see that as where like a nice guy, the good guy is boring.
Right, yeah.
He's boring.
Yeah.
Like, let's face it. Like, we all know that. Like, he's boring. He's staying home. He's playing video games. He's doing his shit. He's working on his career. He's building himself up. He's holding you accountable, probably. He's trying to build like emotional intelligence. He's trying to do things. He has goals. He's motivated.
Financial stability.
Or maybe he doesn't have any of those, and he's just trying to like live a simple life, and he wants to grow a beard and chop firewood in the backyard. And that's boring to you, maybe, and you're like, oh, well, you're not gonna find somebody better.
Somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah. And but the problem is that like the nice guy doesn't find the woman that then from the beginning when he's 20, 19, 18 goes, oh yes, you're worth investing and you're a good guy. But then you have these women that they. Not all of them, but they will run off and live up their 20s and drink and do drugs and all these things to have fun in your 20s. And then they hit 30, 35. And these are like stats and stories that I've heard. They hit 30, 35 and they start going, oh crap, I think I might want kids.
Right.
Or hey, now I want to settle down. Like even if we just say it that way, like, oh, now I want to settle down. And then now the nice guy that has had his heart broken 23,000 times, the guy that has all this trauma built up, all this mistrust, all this, and the girl's like, oh, I'm ready for a serious, I'm ready now. And let's be honest, and this is going to be harsh for the viewers, I'm sorry, but she's been ran through at this point.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
See, like you were thinking it. I'm just going to say it. Like like she has been used and abused, however that wants to be taken, like whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically. Like she has her own traumas. She has her own baggage, so to speak, just like we do. And so you get to that point, and then he doesn't really want to trust her. And then you have these like all these like issues and trauma that you're both bringing to the table,
Right.
and then are you trauma dumping on your first date? Are you trauma bonding? Because that's not a healthy way to start a relationship.
Yeah, I
And
know
a lot of people do it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
And it's not healthy. It's not something you should be doing. It's not something that is beneficial for you to have a healthy relationship that's going to last, right?
Exactly.
So it's we're building on all this. So yes, nice guys finish last because women don't want to take them seriously their whole life. Only when they're older and figured it out and they're like, you built something.
Yeah.
You know, because as men, we will go after younger women, and the stats and the surveys say that men will. You're talking all the way up to like 50 years old. You go, yo, you want to date a 20-year-old? 50-year-old dude's like, oh yeah, like you know what I mean, you know. And so is the 30-year-old, and so is the like that idea, whether it's socially right or even just morally right or not. Let's say that put that aside. Legality or whatever, it's weird, or like put that aside. Every man would date someone much younger than them, typically between the ages of like 18 to 23.
Okay.
Like that's when men would say that women are typically in their prime, or they're the most attractive, right? And so you go, women when they're young, they can get with an older guy that has money, that has status, that has like a business, and then they're 19, and then like have fun and do their thing, do that with how many men or whatever. But a man doesn't get to like go hit up a sugar mama.
Nah.
He doesn't get to look good enough when he's 19 to be like, hey yo, like you see these abs?
Right.
Like, hey mama, come over here, Hey, you pretty mama, like
Johnny Bravo.
It was pretty good. And there's that difference, right? And so like the nice guys now that are hitting 30 or whatever, they're having a hard time.
Yeah.
Like as a podcast, I was watching To Be Better podcast with the Warriors Way or Warriors Mind or whatever it was. And he was saying the boys aren't playing. By that, the boys aren't going out and dating. Like he has I think he has like 3 teenage daughters, and he's like, they don't get asked out. like guys aren't even in like middle school, high school, like they're not just like adults, but it's just transitioning, and it's because why would you? You're worried about getting Me Too'd or getting there's a lot with that. Anything I'm saying in this, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just throwing things out that we hear a lot, and that we're like buzzwords, or that we're supposed to and like the conversations need to be had. So thanks for being here.
And this is great because it's a different point of view, because you're from the northern states and I'm from the southern part of the U.S.
Right.
And it's good to see like two different what would I call it, perspectives of like growing up in two different parts of the U.S.
Like for sure, like Midwest is a very large area, but you tend to find a lot of trends in the Midwest. And same as like at least we tend to up here think of like the South as like from where you're from is a different South than where like you're thinking more like East, like to me that's different. I don't know if to everybody that's different. They're like, Florida people are just like Texas people,
I would say anywhere from like South Carolina down is like the South, that East region.
Like South Carolina is still kind of East Coast though. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's when you start breaking into like the New England and stuff. That's a whole different area.
Oh yeah, New England, all whole different world. We got sidetracked quite a bit here, but that's okay. 8 hours.
You want me to break down and cry?
I mean, I'll just put a clown emo over your face. All right. Well, our next question was, what was the hardest part of your last relationship?
The hardest part was letting go, because obviously I have kids with her.
Right.
Then you're not like the biggest issue with like I don't want to speak on behalf of women, but like they don't know what it's like to be completely lonely and in silence in a house so used to having noise, because most of the time they take the kids with them.
I was gonna say like mothers especially because they're they're surrounded by the kids or
right. Although I think in my point of view I was a better parent. Schoolwork, appointments, picking them up from school, teaching them new things, feeding them,
Right.
showing them how to cook and whatnot, or they like to watch me do that.
Right.
And then going from that to like almost nothing can put you in a really dark spot in depression. Like
Yeah.
not having your kids around or watching them grow up, or they do the little height chart on the wall and
Right.
things like
Like
that.
you miss those things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
And every phone call I get is like, "Hey, Dad, I want to come back. I miss you."
Mm.
And it was like that earlier on that phone
Right.
call.
Right.
Yeah. And that's like a whole go into. But yeah,
Right.
so that's the hard for me. It's not having the kids around.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a big change, especially when you fall into those patterns. Take them to school, or
Yeah.
hanging out with them, and they're just gone.
Like the first day of school had happened, and I saw the pickup line, and I got instantly sad because I wasn't in that line.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drive this way."
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah. I broke down a little bit.
No, for sure. No, yeah. I mean, it's I'm not a parent, so obviously that's one thing that I always tell them is I'm not a parent, so it's hard for me to really understand that parent's perspective. But I'm sure there's lots of people that are gonna be watching that can.
I recommend getting married first.
Yeah.
And then having kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you do it the way I did without being married, then they could just go at any moment.
Which is funny because actually that was one of my next questions was, do you want to get married
someday? Yeah.
Like at some point?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be the ultimate goal there, is just to have family, a house with people that you love and care about.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that like the goal, like for life?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I just want to finish up my school and get my certifications and whatnot, and start being more financially stable.
Right.
And start to build based off of that.
No, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. It comes back around to like, oh, who am I going to end up dating? Like, are they going to have kids, or they're going to have no kids? Have they been married before? Like, what's your background like?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to go through like the year to 2 years of like learning somebody, because apparently you have to get married in 2 years. I was like, okay, yeah.
Like what? Like where's that come from?
Well, it's a thing that gets said a lot that I've heard, that if you don't marry the woman between 2 years, then just move on. Like,
ladies,
like you don't love her.
Ladies, listen. Let me know in the comments.
I waited 10 years.
But
to ask.
I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. I waited 10 years to ask, and she was like, "Oh no, that's way too long."
That's no. So like, okay. Like for some people, 2 years might be fine. I have a sibling that got married less than a year.
No,
like
yeah. Don't be the fiance at all. Don't
right. I mean, there's difference. I mean, it's all like to the person and the couple, I guess. But I think that, like, what I always tell people is, I think you should be with somebody where you can see them through all 4 seasons.
Right.
You need to see them through all 4 seasons of, like, we actually have 4 seasons up here.
We got like 2.
I know, you fucker.
Winter and summer, that's it.
So you see them all through 4 seasons, and I also mean that seasons of like as a person. So like, have you seen them depressed? Have you seen them angry?
Yeah.
Not upset, angry. Like where they are like red in the face, mad. Like, have you seen them, like disappointed? Have you seen them through the like the spectrum of emotions that to really gauge somebody? Because one of the biggest issues with marriage, in my opinion, right now in America is that we don't get to know somebody enough. Right. And it goes hand in hand with dating. Like we don't get to know somebody on a personal level. Like, I don't need to know what your favorite color is. I need to know what you're going to do when you see that kid getting kidnapped over there.
Right.
I need to know that you're going to run over there, beat the living fuck out of the person who's taking that child.
Exactly.
And save that child's life. Like, I need to know that you're that kind of human being.
Oh yeah.
For me. Yeah. Because that's what my standards are. And so, like, if you see an injustice, standing up for it is like so high up on my values, like especially like in a partner. It's just crazy to me that people don't like get to know somebody on like a truly deeper level than like, what do you look like naked? You know what I mean?
Right,
like there's so much to people, and we are just living in this surface world of like, you can just send a Facebook message to somebody and like not mean it.
Yeah.
Unsend. Yeah. Like,
yeah, exactly. I don't like the unsend feature.
No, I don't like. See, I think Snapchat's a cheating app, but I'm sure I'll get into that another episode.
Just for that.
Yeah, so not a fan of those myself. I don't like it when a girl has Snapchat.
Nope. And delete your Snapchat. You want to be trustworthy.
Let's talk about Snapchat, right? So Snapchat's really fucked up, and here's the reason why. I wasn't talking about it, but but we were talking about so Snapchat. The reason why Snapchat and Facebook I think are really bad to have is because I only use the social medias for like things like content creation or like networking with people. Like, I don't use it to like flirt. I'm not on dating sites. I don't, I don't do that stuff. So for me, if you have those, it's connections, right? And so you talk about like, I don't want to block my ex, which I made a video on, and it's this whole about like there's that, not everybody does this. I'm trying to generalize about everybody, but I feel like there's a chunk of people that they have those people on Snapchat, that girl you met at the bar the one night, the ex, boyfriend or girlfriend, or the childhood friend, the person you knew in high school, because it's a more familiar.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can't go on Facebook dating and get laid. You can go hit up your ex-boyfriend from high school on Facebook because you still have him on there. And you can tell your partner, oh, we went to high school together.
Right.
And it's like, oh, don't worry about him. He's just a friend.
Oh, I hate those words.
Oh my God. No, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
You're gonna be so insecure about it?
That's nothing to no.
Really,
it's
like, I'm a guy. Like, I know what he's after.
Have you seen the Matt Rife? He's like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I want to totally clip that in here, but that's like my favorite. I think one of him, like out of like the ones I'm thinking of on top of my head, but like that's what it feels like. You're like, what? Yeah. That's crazy.
And his red flags really proved a point too.
Yeah, no, they really did.
Like, they all hit, the nail pretty well.
Right. Like what are some of your red flags?
Like you said, social media.
Okay.
For me, it's more of like if a girl's constantly on her phone, and you're just like, why are you on your phone when I'm with you right now?
Like,
right?
Where you go on a date and then they want to set up the camera and take a picture of you all together, or a cute picture, or like, here, hold my hand while you walk away, or like something weird. And it's like in the moment, you're like, can't we have a moment? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I can't stand that shit.
Just constantly on your phone. I'm just like, who are you messaging when like I'm, you're a person of interest and I'm here right now. Like, who else is gonna divide my time?
Like, don't put your phone on the table on our first date.
Right.
Put it in your pocket or in your purse or whatever. Like,
another thing I don't like is a flip down phone.
It's a flip down. Oh,
she's texting.
Yeah, where you put it down,
like face down.
Like, even insecurities about somebody hiding shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my husband, you can hold it, it'll tell you. Right. Like, I'm hiding anything, but
like, I have a passcode on my phone, but it's because I have it on my phone.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
exactly.
so much that it's like a lifeline almost. So for me, like, but I'm always that way. It's not like I get a girlfriend and then I put a code on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like I'm, my phone's always on silent because my watch will vibrate.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like sounds. It's like sensory overload for me. But I will say, like, a good key indicator that something's off with a partner is when someone goes from having a ringtone to putting it on silent.
All the time, yeah.
They're like, oh, I just got sick of the sounds. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Like,
100%.
Don't believe it. I mean, some of my red flags, I think, for me are kind of similar to yours. Like, the big thing for me is if they're very open about like who their friends are, or they like they can't go into detail about a lot of things. Like, I feel like I've been tricked before in relationships where I think I'm getting closer with a girl, but like I then noticed like after the relationship that like I never really learned more about her.
Right.
Like, she just kind of like flips hair, like was just cute the whole time. And I was like, wait, like, where did she grow up? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you're like we dated for how long? Like,
I don't really know her.
Right. And that's what I mean is like, we're not getting to know people. Like, I think you should get to know somebody as a friend. But the problem is that we're so trained with this whole friend zone thing. And I mean, tricky too, because I mean, us as men, we have to go out and get a woman.
Yeah.
Like, women kind of just have men come to them. So it's kind of a
would be nice.
Would be nice, right?
Don't be afraid to shoot your shot.
Well, here, if you're gay, it might help, but my boat don't float that way.
Psych, I'm not.
Moving on.
Back over these quick messages.
We already kind of talked about what your longest relationship was, but why do you think that one lasted longer than any of your other relationships?
Man, I think it's the familiarity. Yeah, sorry, Ken. That's a long word.
Being familiar with the other person.
Yeah, you're so you're so type person, although you may have problems and whatnot, but you guys are all that you know, and you don't want to go out and experience anything new.
I don't want to like step on or hurt anyone's feelings. Like when I say this, so I mean this as innocent as possible. But isn't that playing the victim mindset a little bit? Like you're in something that's abusive?
I mean, yeah, emotionally, yes, because you stick together for so long, and you're just like, damn, do I really trust this person still? Or
Right.
can I trust this person again? Or every time you look at them, you always have to remind yourself that you forgave them at one point or another.
Right.
And doing that for years, it can be tough, and there's some lines that get grayed out, or communication starts going downhill, and you guys don't really talk or anything. It's just coexisting at that point.
Yeah, it's like the roommate phase.
Which is what my ex was telling me. I was like, I didn't see it that way. Because I did change a lot when I moved down to South Texas.
Yeah.
I changed a lot. And I thought I was good enough to where it was starting to change everything. And then, like, she cheated on me. So,
yeah.
So now I'm evaluating myself and trying to rebuild myself. I guess.
Rebuild, but you want to make sure that you're not building the walls first.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I'd say it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I need to know what my foundation is right now.
Yeah, you need to rebuild, but you don't want to throw up your walls as the first thing, because that means that you're on defense.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're building everything within the confines of the space that you've confined yourself to. You're not allowing yourself to have the freedom of expression.
Like I want to have a door there that's open,
Right.
So like not
a drawbridge.
I'm not afraid to date, but it's scary to learn somebody new.
It is. And when I said the victim thing earlier, it's because like that sounds a lot like when someone talks about not wanting to leave an abusive relationship, because it's the same fear, or someone who's married, they don't want to leave the security of that. And it's one of those things where, like, I talk to people who are single and I say, when you're getting into a relationship or you're trying to find a partner, you're competing with the other person's happiness.
Right.
And that's kind of what it is, vice versa, where you're competing with someone's comfort. I'm comfortable around this person. Like, even if they yell at me and they're batshit crazy and they throw things at me and they, and we don't really get along, but like, I mean, sex is all right, like if there's like any good there, it's amazing what a man or a woman will stay for.
Yeah.
Or will just be like, okay, well, maybe we can figure it out. And I'm kind of more traditional. So for me, in my mind, like if I got somebody pregnant, I kind of have that thought process of like, okay, so should we get married? Like whether that's something that's like would happen, would be a conversation or not, like that's where my brain would go first. And so, like to me, like I think the family unit's important. I think it's good to keep it together, which is why I've made a point of not having children to the best of my ability. So far, so good. So, and it's because I want to sure that whoever I choose to have children with is somebody that I would like to marry. I don't want to, like you said, the whole step parent thing and all that. Like, I don't have to deal with that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the hard part too. I mean, not saying that I wouldn't do it, because I would, but if I could avoid that, then that'd be even better.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then again, that other person would have to be the step parent in the relationship. So.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of gone through that already with my past ex. I have kids from two different women, and they did play the step, role.
Right.
So, I mean, she did pretty okay. Yeah. Yeah, she did pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, treated my son just like, one of our girls.
That's important.
So, yeah.
From what I hear.
It really is. But, I mean, my son liked her a lot. So, they were pretty comfortable.
That's good. That could be a little tough, too, for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
With everything, too. So.
Yeah, because he's asked about her a couple times here and there. And I'm just like, sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
What do you tell a 9-year-old?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I had aunt that went through a divorce. It was really hard on their child too. So I definitely understand that. But I do have, in today's society, what would be considered a perfect date? First, we'll go for you. What's a perfect date to you?
Dinner for sure.
Out? Home?
Out.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be out first. I would say maybe third or fourth date, dinner at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, out. I guess like a nice place. Doesn't have to be very fancy,
Like that list of 50 places to not take a woman on a first date.
Right, we're going to Applebee's for the
Applebee's.
Yeah.
Dude, Cheesecake Factory. I hear that's
I love
I hear they all want to go to Cheesecake Factory.
You know what? Yeah. She just said Cheesecake Factory not that long ago.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, we should probably go.
Have you heard of the list? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the list.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
Fast food for sure. I know that's on the list. I've got to see this list.
Yes.
What's the secret behind getting coffee? Oh,
This was the list that I saw. So this has 28 items on this list, okay? So this is places to not take a woman on a first date. This is a first date, keep in mind. We're going number 1 all the way down. Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies. This one got me, the movies, because the movies is a classic first date.
It is.
I know that you don't want to talk to the man. I know that that's the whole thing is that, well, you can't talk in the movie. Well, are you telling me that you're only going to a movie? Because to me, the phrase is dinner and a movie.
Yeah.
It's your movies and entertainment afterwards. And if you really need to squirrel out of the date before the movie, make something up or whatever, I guess, I don't know if you got to lie about it, but, the movies is a classic one.
It is.
Like, and nowadays they got alcohol in the movies. They got.
Oh, yeah. They
like,
bring your food to you.
Yeah. Your house. That's a booty call.
A lot of first dates there.
A lot of first and only.
Right.
Only
ever been with one person.
Any fast food chain. Well, you mean McDonald's in a restaurant? Like
take you where they serve food in front of you.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's
now
more
with
of a
this
sports
one.
bar.
If she was really into sports, like they're both into sports.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like then it would be valid. Like
Buffalo Wild Wings to me is a lot like Hooters.
What?
No, don't take first dates there.
What?
Because you're just gonna be staring at the waitresses.
That's a personal problem. That's. I mean,
It's
like
like,
if
you
you
think
can't look at your date.
You think I came here to eat?
Yo, give me some chicken tendies, yo.
And a side of boobs, please.
No, I meant beer.
Beer.
Yeah, tall one. Tall boy. So we have Wingstop. Wingstop doesn't even have a place to sit down. Why would that be a first date?
Well, some do.
Oh, they do?
Wingstop to me is more like, hey, let's grab some food and go home and watch something.
Right. But also wings on a first date. You just want to see how she can.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, what are you?
What that mouth do?
What that neck do? Out of here. Red Lobster, a buffet. Okay, like Red Lobster is expensive for a first date. I'm not a seafood fan, but the buffet one, when I first heard it, I was like, wait. Like, that's kind of a good idea. Like you don't know how picky the other person is. They
good
can
buffet,
choose.
though.
Not like Ponderosa.
Yeah.
What's a good buffet, though?
That's a good question, man.
Do you go Chinese buffet?
No.
No? Because that's worse, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, is there a Luby's up here? Luby's?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, of course, like the cafeteria style restaurant.
Cafeteria style restaurant?
Yeah.
What is that?
Where like you go to school, you grab your tray, and then you get your food. It's just like that, but it was like endless amounts of like different kinds of food.
I don't think I've
and then
ever
you pay
been.
for your plate after you're done.
I
Like
don't think
taking all your food
I
out.
don't think I've ever been somewhere like that.
That must be a southern thing, then.
IHOP, Denny's, the gym. Who's taking a first date to the gym?
Most girls nowadays are very active. And a lot of them that I've seen on Facebook dating love to go to the gym. I'm looking for my gym partner, or I like to work out fucking 15 times a week or something.
I don't know, maybe, but for a first date, I don't know.
I think a gym person.
Good way to
needs
hate your
find
partner.
another gym person. So the way that's gonna work.
Church?
No, thank you. We'll burst in flames walking in there, smelling like alcohol the Saturday night before.
Starbucks? Oops.
Yeah. I mean, like a good. I think Starbucks is great.
Coffee dates and Starbucks.
Wanting to chat and early in the day.
I feel like it's a morning date, and coffee is the best way though. Like it's you can have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be terribly long if you don't want it to be.
Right.
You could always go and do something. You could go for a walk while you're having coffee or something.
Yeah.
Be like active. I don't know. Let's see, ice cream dates, family functions. Why are you bringing them to your family?
I would say after a few dates.
Too early, bro. Like first date?
No.
Movie night, Netflix, booty call. Somewhere that requires a long drive. Yo, you want to be cooped up in this car with me for the next 3 hours?
I've done that a couple times with.
That'd be a little tricky.
With
Like, because you have no idea.
Yeah.
That person could be wild. You could hate that person 10 minutes into the drive.
Yeah. With this current girl, I think we were taking like 1 hour drives.
Oh shit.
To get to the next big city.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to go shopping or whatever. But yeah.
Bowling, I think bowling is a good first date.
I love bowling.
I think if she's into it, like fine. Like, maybe that's just me.
As long as she doesn't have like giant nails, then you can't.
Oh my gosh! See, and that's a big red flag to me.
Giant nail.
Like you have long, huge nails.
I think if they're like nicely, like a little bit out,
Yeah,
but not
like if you can't pick up change
clicking
off
every time
and be like, oh, your nails are cute, but to me, like they're cute for you.
Right. Yeah.
Like it doesn't, like a girl having nails done does not make them more attractive to me personally.
Okay.
But nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar for just drinks, Waffle House, sports events.
Okay. I mean, sport events are pretty cool.
I mean, hookah bar, yeah, why the fuck? What are you doing?
I mean, I'd rather just be there by myself.
What? Facts. First date.
No. Oh, that one date, I don't know if you saw it. She ordered five dozen oysters, and the guy said, fuck that, I'm out. He said, I'm out.
What? Should dating be 50-50?
Yes and no.
Okay, you want to explain?
So I think if you both decide on going somewhere that's like mutual and it's planned out, sure, 50. But I think if I was to ask you out on a date, then I'm paying because I asked you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, like I agree with that. Like I think that
just don't order the whole menu.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you were saying, right? Like if you're gonna go order like 500 oysters or whatever, like, holy crap! What is worth working through for a relationship? Is cheating, lying, addiction, porn, gambling? Are there any things that are like it's the limit? Nope. If you do that, it's not worth working through.
Cheating for sure. Yeah, because that's the one that hits me close to home.
Right.
Not saying that I'm perfect. We all make mistakes throughout the relationship that I had, but I felt like I gave it my all the last 4 years, and then for something like that to happen, very devastating.
Right.
Because that could ruin a whole family. Easy.
Yeah. That's why loyalty is high up on my list.
It's got to be there. I need to trust what you're telling me.
Right.
If you are where you say you are, then there's no need for me to like look you up on the map or whatever.
Right. Right.
Like, I trust what you're telling me.
For sure.
So,
we definitely got to trust the people that we're choosing to have a relationship with, right? So that totally makes sense. So I think we can both understand where we're coming from on that one. See, what was my next question we had? Do you feel like it's easy for you to get dates? And I know this is kind of framed up more like for guys in general, but also for yourself, maybe. Like, do you feel like it's easy to get dates?
No, I don't really think it is. No. It just comes down to like the demographic of like today's society. Dates aren't actually dates anymore.
Dude, for real. And that's really true though. Like, well, what can I gain from this?
So, you take your girl home on the first night and then you do it, then now that's not the person you want.
Right. No, that's fair. I'd say that. Yeah, like it's really hard, I think, for guys because we're, as a whole, at least how I feel it is that we don't know what we're supposed to do, or we don't know what's right, that sort of thing. So, like, should we not approach? Should we, like, how do we approach? Or, and it's always so like individualistic, I think.
Yeah.
To a degree, it's all about the people and what kind of people you're talking about, things like that. For sure.
Yeah, it doesn't always hurt to like just shoot your shot.
Well, right.
It could happen.
Why is dating so hard? Right? Like we both agree, like, it's hard. Why is it so hard?
I feel like everybody wants to learn somebody else on a like accelerated path, almost
like too quickly,
way too quickly.
Yeah. I can totally agree with that. Like I'm kind of taking the stance lately that I think you should really take the time to get to know somebody, because we friend zone people so quickly. Which I have a plan to do an episode on friend zone, but like the people put others in this sort of friend zone role, and I mean, I haven't delved super into the whole friend zone thing, but I almost define friend zone as like you're letting them think there's potential for something, but like, not yet. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't think that's okay. And so I think we should like get to know people on a deeper level before we like start committing certain things, because we're all about getting that, I don't know, getting that tail, or, getting the next like relationship or encounter or whatever it is. And I think we need to slow down as a society. Yeah.
People jump from like meeting and then relationship instead of dating for a little bit to see if you want to progress into a relationship or not.
Yeah. Like like be realistic about it. If you're not on the same or similar path, if you're not willing to make sacrifices, be honest with yourself on both sides. Be honest with yourself. Ask the questions that need to be asked. You know, like if you want to have children, that needs to be brought up. If you have had certain issues with things, like I'm not saying trauma dump on your first date, but like before you commit to a closed relationship, because mostly everything that we're ever going to talk about here is going to be monogamous relationships, because that's what most people are like relating to. You know, there's certain things that come with that, and I think that's important for us to, you know, kind of share and talk about those things. And you know, really just want to say thanks for coming today, you know, and doing the interview.
It was
I know
great.
that like I had a blast, and it's my first one, so we'll see how we edit it all up and everything. But if anyone enjoyed the episode, the interview, you know, feel free to comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Of course, you can find you know, Epic, if you want to give any shout outs for anywhere to find your stuff, if you're still doing that.
Saint Neptic on TikTok. That's where I'll mostly be.
That's right, Saint Neptic. So maybe we'll throw some pop-ups or something, feel how creative we are. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you taking the time. And if you liked seeing this or have any questions you would want to see maybe asked on future interviews, feel free to drop those in the comments. And we'll see y'all next time on Nice Guy Problems. Peace. Bye.